just doing a cop drama because the time travel doesn't really affect you?
No, it does in the sense that because it affects the people that I really, really care about. Riley's character, Frank, being my best friend, me sort of being like the fun uncle, but when he passes away, becoming more of a mentor and a surrogate father, in essence, for Raimi, Peyton's character. So the drama that they're going through, whether he's alive in my reality or he's dead, is very much affecting me because it affects these people and their attitudes and the way that, because I don't know yet what's could be going on, but at some point it's going to be like, how come you guys, you're always at the right place at the right time for some odd reason, and how is that possible? And so we'll start to raise those kind of questions. So even though I am sort of, going about my normal life, in essence, I am being affected, and I will be affected by their talking to each other.
Is it hard to keep track between the past, the present, and what your character knows or doesn't know?
Well, not yet. I mean, as far as me as an actor, that's an interesting thing. Reading the scripts is a very much a highlighting experience, because you have to really literally highlight. Okay, so this is '96. I know this then, but this happened, so now I don't know that, and then bouncing back to 2016. So it's a little bit tricky, but that's what I love about acting and doing a multitude of different projects. There's always something new around the bend, and I get to sort of explore and do things that I haven't done before. So it does help to have that mindset, because yes, it is very intricate for me, but when you see it as an audience, it's not confusing. But it's just about us putting in the work and making sure that everything lines up in the right way, so that as an audience, you're not going, oh, come on, last episode they said this doesn't make sense. So it's really an effort between the writers and us to make it authentic and, as much as time travel can be. So it's an interesting process.
Brad Anderson directed your pilot. He's mostly a director of horror, thriller type things. What as a director directing the pilot, what did that do to the genre, maybe where you guys think that you sit, or what did he bring in that sense?
Brad's a great director. He really has a great way of, one, communicating with the actors, but he also has a great way of telling a story. And I think that, there's a lot of directors that can just shoot something, but there's not so many that can tell a good story. And I think that he added, he was able to sort of tell the story, then add a certain element of the suspense. When I saw the pilot, I was very impressed with the way that he shot it, the way that they edited it. I really felt like there was a suspense element, and just not just because I'm in it, but I really wanted to see what happens next when it's over. I'm like, okay, now where do they go with this? And so he did a great job of sort of setting the tone, I think, and hopefully he'll do more episodes throughout the season.
Time travel seems to be an element in many, quite a few new shows. Is time travel the new vampires?
I know, right? The new Twilight.
And why do you think that is happening right now? How do you explain that trend?
Well, the thing about ours, I think, which is different than the basic genre of time travel, is I think that time travel, or the ham radio aspect, is really sort of a backdrop, or a foundation which the stories are being told, but it's really a character-driven piece with a lot of emotion, with a lot of sort of real world, if there was a real world of butterfly effects, so I think that it's not like we're getting in a time machine and then all of a sudden, we're running from dinosaurs or anything like that. I just think that it's a great anomaly that happens, that lends itself to a great mystery, great detective drama, suspense, mystery, that sort of. So it's sort of a multi-genre thing about it. And what was your second question? The second part of your question?
Why do you think we see a lot of these? That as an element in
well, I think it's a very great and creative way to almost have never-ending stories. I think you can go to so many different places with this sort of thing, because especially in ours, and I haven't seen the other ones, but with ours, you know, one change of something in the present or one change of something in the past really affects when you come back to the present, you know. So it's about, like, you know, trying to do, like, I get asked a lot, like, if you could change one thing in the past. It's really hard to answer that, because then it would affect something else, and I may not be here, and I'm very happy to be here. So it's I think that's part of the trend, and you know that people get, you know, really psyched about if it's done well.
This isn't your first sci-fi outing.
It's not.
How does working on this show compare to working on a Torchwood?
Well, you know, yeah, that's an interesting thing. Torchwood was so different. Torchwood was interesting because, and the things that I think are similar was, I didn't know where they were going to go episode to episode. I didn't know how they were going to finish it. I didn't know the show Bible or anything like that, which is the same on this show, and I really opt not to know that. I sort of want to be surprised every time I read the script. It's almost the same way the audience will be when they watch it. But you know, what I think is the similarities is that it's a pushing of an envelope. It's yes, if you want to call it a genre base as far as the sci-fi aspect, but I really feel like it's a character-driven piece, and so I think those are the similarities, and that it's different. As Torchwood was. Torchwood was very different. It was kind of crazy at times, but I think that's what's sort of the similarities, that it tries to push an envelope of something that's not just a typical genre. Like I said, getting in a time machine, and now you're in the 30s, and so it's I think those are the similarities.
Last question.
Oh. We don't have to ask a question.
What kind of audience do you think this show will cater to?
I think well, the CW has a very interesting audience from the time that CW was came into conception and was out there. It had a younger based audience, but I think in time that same audience has grown, and I think the CW in itself has grown with it. So I think this show sort of lends itself to the 18 to, even into the, mid 30s to 40s. Older people. I'm in my 40s now, so I still have a youthful exuberance, I think. Hopefully I have decades left, I hope. But I think it does really touch a younger based audience to an older audience as well. So.